Joe's going to get a program. Joe's bringing some programs around. We need to keep you on this side right now. I see Ruby's in her place. She takes orders real well.
She was some sister.
Go ahead. I need to get in front of you so you can get
Folks, thank you so much for being here. We hope you have a good time. I'm Mary Ann Fisher, in-law. I have to stop and think what my name is. I've had quite a few. All right, you need to know who your chairmen are. of this great big committee. Your chairmen are Joe Arrington and Ronnie James. If you all will stand. Ronnie's right here with Joe. All right. Now, we've been working on this since the fall. And there was a big committee and a lot of folks doing a lot of work. If you came to so much as one meeting, would you please stand so folks can see who worked on this? If you just came to one meeting. Wonderful, thank you. This is your committee. This is your committee. And there's Billy Bruce back there. We're glad to see him. We're glad to see all of you. And Joe, so many people did so many things. Joe is the one who did these wonderful name tags for you. And Oliver, and well, I mean, if I start naming people, I'll forget. So I'm not going to do that. But now you see some gorgeous decorations here. And two sides are decorated differently. This side was for the social hour. This side's for the dinner hour. And we're glad that you have a seat, and we're glad that you're here. June Hendricks Johnson, I had to stop and think, and Jewel Campbell Carver did most of this. If y'all would have to stand up, please. They're responsible for this. The food will be catered and it'll be delivered in just a few minutes. You'll see a cake, and I must not forget this. You'll see a cake, a sheet cake that will feed all of us. And it was a gift from another Mary Ann in Lowe. It was a gift. There's Tommy. Good to see you. That made me think. It was from Mary Ann Elizabeth Inlow, and that's my daughter, and she was Tuscola class of '89, and that's a gift from her to us. So she's not here, and our music, we have a compilation that you'll hear off and on during the night that was done by Gene Johnson. You don't know him, but he's June's husband. So he did all the music for us. And we have a wonderful photographer here who is a friend of Joe's. Joe, would you like to tell us the name, please?
John Paul Thomas.
All right. We're glad to have you here, and his wife is here as well. All right, you've had your social hour and social 45 minutes. And everybody, I believe, has been introduced. Our program consists tonight of you folks. You're the program. So you're going to tell what you've been doing since you retired or for the past 20 years. Can you believe we're so old that we've now got 20 years of history that's brand new. So you're certainly welcome to come up and use this microphone. Perhaps you'll use it better than I do. And or you can stand from down there. June is going to lead us off. She's just gotten back from a world tour, and so she's going to. You want to come up? Come up here.
Tell me if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. All right. When I saw Agnes Jane, the first thing she said to me was, "Have you slowed down?" And I said, "No, not at all, not at all." My mother had said, "Are any of you familiar with attention deficit hyperactivity?" Okay, well, the drug that came along after me was Ritalin. But Mother said if we'd had Ritalin when I was growing up, she'd have sprayed me from head to toe. And the grandmother's thing was that I'd be going down into my 6-foot underhome, kicking the slats out of the pine box. So no, I've not settled at all since retiring. I tried retiring. I taught math and science for 40 years, and I tried retiring it, but it wasn't working that well. I found myself buying a red convertible, the all sports thing. I got a tattoo in Cherokee right before they closed the place by the health department. So by that point, my husband and the children were saying, I think you need to go back to work. So I went back and taught a few more years. Wound up teaching math and science for 42 years. And then when I retired, I've been a tree hugger forever, and I took an eco cruise to the far eastern part of the Caribbean with a bunch of other hippie tree huggers, and I did that for 3 weeks. Gene stayed home and tended to the crops, okay? But then when he retired, we went on a 5-week cruise that followed the voyage of the Vikings, and that had long been a dream, to go to all the places the people went to who pillaged and burned and, just laid havoc everywhere. And so we went to Greenland and Iceland and the Scandinavian countries. That was phenomenal. I started community gardens to help with feeding programs for the great-grandparents who are trying to tend to their great-grandchildren whose parents have been lost to meth and opioids. So that's probably something I'm the proudest of. And these gardens now are providing, of course, organic vegetables for the Anglican, Catholic, Methodist, and Baptist churches, plus the Open Door, and now a couple of the nursing homes here. So I'm very, very proud of that. But then last year, I decided I really needed to see the world. And I went on a 4-month trip around the world. And Gene, again, God love him, stayed home and took care of the cat. But I got to spend time on the Great Wall of China.
It was peaceful.
It was oh, he's the most patient human. And this time last year, I was riding a camel in the desert with some Bedouin tribesmen. And it was the desert where that movie we love so, Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So I've had great adventures. I'm planning more. I don't know exactly where my love of travel came from, but I had been an avid reader. And one of the things that happened, and I'll stop, is when we graduated from WTHS, I was blessed enough to get a scholarship to the University in Chapel Hill. And it was a math and science one. I got a scholarship there. And the first class they put me in was for speech. And they put me with the international students learning English because they didn't consider the way I spoke as a mountaineer. And he said we could not have a scholarship student talking like a hick. And they gave up before I did. I never succumbed to it. I'm so proud of being a mountaineer. I'm proud of everything we're about, everything. And it's wonderful seeing you. Wonderful.
Thank you, June. I'll call on Ronnie next, if you don't mind. Folks, there's water back in there are bottles of water back in the back and ice, and you're welcome to get those. Ronnie, would you, being a former politician too, would you like to have the microphone?
I think I can get by without it also. That's a hard act to follow. Since I retired, well, actually going back a little bit before I retired, I was Western Region Manager for the North Carolina Department of Commerce Business and Industry Development Division, and I had 23 counties, everything from Morganton to the Tennessee line. Before I retired, my wife Carol and I had a 30-foot fifth wheel RV, and we did some traveling before and after retirement. Had the opportunity to go down to South Florida and visit very briefly with my son down there. And then we went back up the East Coast and went over to New Mexico and saw some friends there. While we were out there, we got to follow a trail similar to what you did, but mine was the outlaw trail. You know, being the last name James, you might understand it. I was trying to keep up with Billy the Kid and Jesse and all of them out there. But we had a real good time. Since I've retired, I've cut the grass, cut the wood, split the wood. My wife has a booth down at the farmer's market, and I'll do a little advertising for her. If you're in town, come down to the farmer's market on Saturdays. Tom here, he has a booth too. But I help her. She does all the baking. I do the tents and the tables. Long before that, I'm going to cut mine a little bit short here because I don't have a whole lot to say. But before that, I was in politics, as Mary Ann said. I served on the board of aldermen for eight and a half years. Took a hiatus for 4 years and then ran for mayor, and unfortunately I won. I was mayor for 8 years in Waynesville, and it was exciting at times, and times it was frustrating. Eventually, stress and fatigue got to me. I was totally stressed out, and the voters got tired of me. But it's really been a pleasure working on this reunion with all the good people who have helped, and then those of you who actually didn't attend the meetings, but you helped supply information to those of us on the committee, and without that we wouldn't have this great turnout we have here today. So I thank you, and thank you for the privilege of doing it, and I'm looking forward to doing this again in another 60 years.
For quite a while. Then I did some retail. And then I worked for an optometrist for 25 years. And we retired together. So when he retired, I quit. So we've enjoyed the last few years, just this retirement and having time. I travel with my church all the time. He doesn't like to travel. He hunts, so he plays golf. So it's been a wonderful life, and I'm glad to be here and see everybody because I haven't seen a lot of you in 60 years. So okay.
And who else do we have? Who else have I forgotten?
Tommy Barrett.
Well, how did I forget Tommy Terry?
Well, I graduated in '58. My mother told me I was going to have to get a job, and somebody else gave me a job. The United States Army drafted me. I went to the services and came back home, still the same way. I got married overseas, married a French girl. That marriage didn't work out, but anyhow, I've worked mostly. I worked at Inca. I've worked about everywhere around. I ran a shoe shop for a while. I was deputy sheriff. I retired as a deputy sheriff, and I worked for Paul Evans and all the police department. Had 2 girls, and I had 1 granddaughter and 2 grandsons. Pretty proud of them. One of them just finished his degree over at Western. He's an engineer now, working over in one of these plants over here in Arden, I think it's Arden, where everybody's going. Well, then I haven't done a whole lot, but I've been around Waynesville most of my life. And, I know a lot of friends, but I didn't recognize some of these people, and I'm sorry if I didn't recognize them, but I don't even recognize myself when I shave them. I said, who is this fella here shaving his thing? But, you know, They looked around though, it seemed like, I don't mean to say this, but it looked like we all ate pretty good, you know, as we come along. But I haven't done it, I haven't done much, but like I said, it's been, I've had some schooling and everything. I went to a few colleges, got a little college, and there was, about 3 years ago, I graduated at Haywood Tech in blacksmithing school. Got a good degree in blacksmithing. I've been making a little knives and guns and stuff like that. Still fooling around in my basement in a little shop out behind the house there. That's been about my life story there. I met Linda here out of Florida. Me and her have been together 15 years, and I should have married her first. I've been, hell, I've been way ahead of the game, but like these fellas said, the only way to the father's through the son, and I was pretty rough. I was raised pretty rough. I had to fight and do things I shouldn't have, but as you get older, you mellow out. I mean, I see a lot of my friends here and everything. And like I said, we don't recognize. Just like Phyllis over there, I thought she's the prettiest girl in school. Still looks around. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But it's good to be here with you people and see you all and know you and speak with you. And I guess it's about time for us to eat with you. That's about all I've got to say about it. Thank you all.
Tommy brought up something that I do want to add, just as a point of personal privilege. If you'd raise your hand if you ever went to Haywood Community College or Haywood